Love is Blind star Joe Ferrucci's new girlfriend jokes about watching his Season 9 drama. While Joe Ferrucci has moved on from his Love is Blind Season 9 journey, his new girlfriend is watching all the drama unfold on Netflix. Seeing my boyfriend on Love is Blind, Denver-based dating coach Averee Madison captioned a video of herself watching Season 9 shared via her Instagram story on Thursday, October 30th. In the clip, Averee appeared to cringe at the TV and hid her face in her hands or behind a giant pillow. She later showed glimpses of her current reality with Joe, 29, seeing my boyfriend in real life, she wrote, giving a look at the couple's various date nights. Joe started dating Averee less than 1 year after breaking up with his Love is Blind fiancée, Madison Maidenberg. My relationship with Averee was rocky for the first 3 months, and she didn't want to date me, Joe said during the reunion, which aired on Wednesday, October 29th. There was a lot of breaking up, coming back together, breaking up, and we were off in October as well, then we got back together and started dating in November. Just before Joe and Averee got together, he was briefly seeing fellow Love is Blind star Kacie McIntosh. I think it just kind of fizzled out, he explained at the reunion. It just ultimately didn't work out. Madison, 28, however, argued that Joe's crush on Kacie, 34, even affected her engagement. The night of wedding dress and tux fittings, we had all gone out. I'm standing there with a wedding ring on, telling your groomsmen how much I love you, Madison claimed during the tell-all. I look over, Kacie has 2 paws on Joe's chest. In your words that night, you said, Kacie was giving me googly eyes. Then, the next night, we break up. Let's just tell the truth here. It seems like there was overlap. Joe denied that Kacie had anything to do with their breakup, or that she ever put her hands on his body while he was still in a relationship with Madison. If that's why you think you broke up, that is not the case, Joe said. That has nothing to do with our story. That was after, and that was never in my mind when I broke it off. As fans remember, Joe broke up with Madison shortly after he ran out on his wedding tux fitting. It seemed Madison was all in and what you would want in a person. I, on the other hand, had some concerns, nervous, scared, anxious. I never saw that coming from Madison, Joe exclusively told Us Weekly earlier this month. I think it scared me seeing that as well, and I know she wanted to keep on with the experiment, go through, get as much as you can out of it, in the way of, is this my person? More time for discovering that. I think there was a certain breaking point for me where I couldn't go on any longer. According to Joe, he definitely crashed out during the suit fitting. At that certain point, I'm thinking, why am I going through these motions if I have in my head that, ultimately, I'm not going to be able to say yes on that wedding day, he recalled to us. It felt a little faulty on my part, and I could have handled it better. That's the story of my experiment on TV. It just felt disingenuous on my part to even be there, if I didn't think we had enough time to get there or if I knew this wasn't my person. Everything we know about Miranda Purdom, Anton from Love is Blind's new girlfriend. During the Love is Blind reunion, we found out that Anton and Ali did not get back together after the series stopped filming. Anton introduced viewers to his new girlfriend, Miranda, but who is she? After Ali said no at the altar on Love is Blind, it seemed like Ali and Anton might be able to patch things up. But at the reunion, the tension was super high, and they did not seem to be on good terms. Ali chose to keep her relationship status private, but Anton was super public with his new girlfriend. I actually have been in a relationship for about a year, Anton said at the reunion. Her name is Miranda. She's right there in the audience. Miranda waved at the camera, sitting next to her sisters. Anton continued, she's a great girl, very supportive and very understanding, just the person I've really been needing in my life. According to her LinkedIn, Miranda is a customer success representative in Denver, where Season 9 of Love is Blind was filmed. Before that, she did a degree in elementary education and spent 4.5 years as a teacher. She posts regularly on TikTok and Instagram, but unlike lots of the Love is Blind cast, she stays out of the limelight and doesn't post influencer-y things. Her socials are full of mostly life updates and the books she's reading. Miranda seems to enjoy traveling, posting lots of TikToks from places like Italy and Greece, and also used to play basketball competitively, so Anton really has found the sporty and adventurous girl of his dreams. Daily Roundup October 31st, Jeff Probst gives a mini spoiler about next week's episode, Special Forces, Love is Blind reunion, Max apologizes to Jan, Cheryl Burke body shamed, and your last Back to the Future fact of the week. You are listening to the Daily Roundup here as part of the Reality C podcast. I'm your host Reality, Steve. Thank you all for tuning in on this Friday. Good show for you. We're gonna talk about Survivor from Wednesday night and something that Jeff Probst said in an interview that I thought was really interesting that posted yesterday. Special Forces from last night got a little more on Love is Blind. We've got some news in the dance-in with the Stars world. Max apologizes to Jan. Cheryl Burke is body shamed, and yes, for the last time this week, you're Back to the Future fact of the day. I know you're thrilled. So let's get started. Survivor. On Wednesday night, we did have a blindside on Shannon, and it was basically set up by Sage. Sage was sick of hearing Shannon's stories. Sage was sick of Shannon being the yogi person, but she played it up perfectly. She did everything behind her back. She would look at the camera, she would make faces, she would hug Shannon, then look at the camera and make faces. And even at Tribal Council, Sage sat there and said, she played it great. She's like, when I came into this game, I was hoping we'd have like a wellness type yogi person who was all into meditation and breathing and we got one, and things have been great, knowing the whole time as she was sitting there, Shannon was going home and she sent her home. I'm sure people feel a certain way about Shannon. To me, not my cup of tea. The yogi, seemingly lying stories about her remembering herself being in the womb. People start saying that around you. You're just full of shit. Remember George Carlin back in the day, that stand-up comedian, one of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time? He had a bit where he couldn't, he was talking about people that he could do without, and he was basically talking about people that are full of shit. And you can catch it in about 3 seconds. I'm sorry, Shannon. You're full of shit. You don't remember being in the womb. That's so dumb. It's physically impossible. And when you say you remember being in the womb, like examples, what you clearly couldn't see the outside world. What do you remember? It just, oh my god, that kind of drove me nuts because it's such bullshit, and it's just somebody saying stuff like that to get attention for themselves, to make it seem like they are so, earthly, whatever the case may be. Why someone would even say that outside of they strictly just want it to be all about them. You could tell who Shannon was the second she said, I remember being in the womb. No, you don't. Just stop it. I mentioned in the open that Jeff Probst said something really interesting. We saw the previews for next week's episode, and we see clearly the merge happens in next week's episode, and Jeff did an interview on a red carpet yesterday, and somebody was asking him about season 49. I will say, honestly, up to this point in this season, I've been incredibly bored by this season. I don't think it's any good, and I'm a guy that absolutely loves Survivor. It's my favorite reality show of all time. You know this, I'm bored by this season. It just hasn't had any sort of, I think you have some interesting characters, but the gameplay has been whatever. Now after what Jeff said, maybe he's just hyping up his own show. We'll have to see as it plays out. But Jeff said something interesting. He says, on next week's episode at the merge, he tells the cast at the time, hey, we haven't cast for season 50 yet. We still have spots available. So just want to let you guys know you step your game up. You still have a chance to be cast on season 50. He actually says that in next week's episode, which we've never seen before. Kind of breaking the fourth wall there, and we already know the 2 people who are on season 50 that end up getting cast. If you don't know, I've talked about it numerous times this season, but if you don't know mute right now, 3, 2, 1. It's Rizzo, Riz, God, Rizgod. I dunno why he has to spell it out every time. And Savannah, those are the two that are on season 50. I have no idea how well they do on season 50, but they're on season 50. But Jeff saying that too in an interview is really interesting because he made it seem like once I told them that it was game on and he said the rest of the season is fantastic. Again, he's the executive producer of the show. I don't ever expect him to say, you know what? The season was kind of boring. He's never gonna say that. I understand, but the way he told it, he said, when I said that to them, it seemed to light a fire under a lot of them and they really started to play the game hard, which is what I've wanted to see. I don't feel like anybody's really playing the